days.
That's early.
Didn't muck around.
Onwards and upwards.
Change of gear now. There are growing concerns for residents living in 8 high-risk areas across Sydney as even tougher restrictions come into place.
Cumberland City Council Mayor Steve Christou has labelled the new measures absurd, saying the lucky country has become the locked country. And Steve joins us now from Maryland's in Sydney's West. Mayor, good morning to you. Talk to me. These are desperate times. People are hurting. How is your community holding up?
Carl, morning. The community is not doing too well at the moment. Morale's at an all-time low. We have a great and vibrant multicultural community at Cumberland City Council, but these measures are just extreme, and now restricting our movements to 5 kilometres and bringing in the army is a sign that the state government has lost complete control and is running out of ideas.
Yeah, as you mentioned, residents can't travel more than 5 kilometres from home. Now, hospitality workers are surviving on takeaway customers only. How will they cope?
Well, that's it. They're not going to cope anymore. Yesterday's announcement of a 5 kilometre restriction has essentially put the final nail in the coffin of many small businesses that were relying on takeaway business. People now essentially can't leave their homes. It is ridiculous. Families can't work out how they're going to pay their mortgage, their rent, their bills, put the next meal on the table. We are now hearing from families, Steve, we're missing meals. And the state government don't get that.
Steve, we've had, look, a number of mayors on in the last couple of days, and it's a similar story, and there's been miscommunication, there's been no communication in some cases. But back to the army on the streets, some people see it as reassuring. For your residents, though, as you just said then, you think it's a sign that we've lost control. What do you think's going to happen on the streets in the coming days?
I don't think it's going to be good. Putting the army on the streets, especially in a community like Cumberland, where a lot of the residents are from refugee backgrounds, where they haven't had a good experience with the army, where there's been civil wars, and in a lot of cases, they've fled to avoid army brutality. It's not going to be good. The army is here to defend its people, not to be used against its people. And putting them on the streets to enforce lockdowns is not good. I'm supportive of the army. They play an important role in the defence of the country. However, not to be used as a last resort measure because Gladys and her government have lost control. And yesterday I was watching when the Deputy Premier admitted to you, Carl, that they have no idea and they're running out of ideas of how to combat this, and it's not good. And our state politicians are at home, tucked away in their lounge rooms, on full salaries, while the rest of our people are suffering out here. And they couldn't possibly understand the restrictions and measures they're now putting on people's lives. Mental health is going downhill, and this is a fact we're hearing every day. And only yesterday, and I might get myself in a bit of trouble for revealing this, we were given a quiet request from the local police command to turn off the lights in our parks at night because they couldn't police people exercising. Well, no, we're not doing that. We're not restricting our people's movements. Going out and exercising is the only thing people have left for some freedom and for their mental health.
Mayor,
So we're not going to be a part of that.
I completely get it, but there are going to be some who say, to play devil's advocate, we need to get control of this thing. We can't be doing the things that we did before because at some point in the last few weeks, we did lose control. So people are going to have to grin and bear it, aren't they? Or not even grin, but just bear it.
Carl, people will be happy to grin and bear it if there was a clear roadmap out of this. But 19 months into lockdown, nearly 2 years now into COVID, and we're still at lockdown stages with more severe measures than ever, that's where people don't understand.
You sound angry, you sound frustrated, you sound emotional. Is that fair?
A little bit frustrated, not angry. I'm just here trying to do the best and represent the interest of my community, who at the moment are getting an unfair deal. They don't deserve this. They're a great bunch of people. They're one of the most vulnerable people in New South Wales, and they deserve better treatment than what's currently being dished up to them.
Good on you. You're representing them well this morning. We appreciate you airing your concerns and the concerns of your community, as always. Mayor, thank you. We'll talk to you next week. Well, coming up at today's special report, why more and more